I finally figured out my hard start, no start issue. Dull key, bad ignition switch.
Reach 2, 3, 4 the mic. 2, 3, your skills when you're building that body.
So before we headed up into the mountains, I did a scan on my Bluetooth OBD sensor. It pulled a code B1352, which is a failure in ignition switch. And when I would put my key in to the ignition, the door chime would sometimes chime, would sometimes not chime. So there was a failure in the connection. And what happens over time is these keys get dull, or if you drive with a heavy keychain, it tends to wear out the ignition switch. And when I replaced the ignition switch, I checked it out and it was really dusty, and there's a really small contact point. And when I put the key in to see if it would contact, it was barely touching. So it would touch on and off, and that's what was causing my no start issue too, or hard start. So it would start sometimes and other times it wouldn't start. And I noticed after driving on a really bumpy trail, the next day the van wouldn't start, or it would just have a really hard start. So I figured out my hard start issue after changing out the fuel filter, the throttle body, the EGR valve, all my grounding straps, PCM valve, battery. I found the source, and it was the ignition switch. So she starts up every time now, no problem. And I also went ahead and got a new starter put in, because while I was doing the hard start, no start hunting, I checked out my starter and it was really old and corroded. So I figure might as well change that out just in case, because if you get stuck out here, there is nobody here to help. So yeah, if you have a bad ignition key switch, you might have stalling issues while you're driving, and you might have hard starts or no starts. So if you can't find that hard start, no start, check your key, change out that ignition switch. It's about 50 bucks, and it's a real simple install. You just stick a screwdriver under the drive shaft and turn the key and pull it out. But there's videos on the tubes where you can find that ignition switch replacement. So right now I'm just keeping my battery charged up with the solar, and repainted the bumper because of all the rocks hitting. And yeah, keep those tire covers on because the sun is burning up those tires. So till the next one, peace.